Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an AwardsWatch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore what drives them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at AwardsWatch, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, I think it is safe to call this the ultimate pivot film in the filmography of the Archers. I think this is, in many ways, the inflection point of their partnership, their career. We're talking the Tales of Hoffmann. Can't wait to talk about it. What a singular movie we are going to get to talk about today.
It's one that I think is maybe one of the more fascinating films we've talked about in a long time.
Because it's so normal.
Well, there is that. Like, my wife was telling me when I had it on and she was walking in the room, in and out of the room, she was like, "Do you need to take drugs in order to understand this thing?" And I said, yeah, they actually came in the Criterion Collection. Inside the packaging was a set of drugs that you could take to watch this movie. But no, I was thinking this because, Jay, like, when we usually talk about the film from a auteur, right? It's very rare that you get a massive, like, kind of out of left field swing to follow it. Like, when, because we talked about Red Shoes last week. That's probably maybe the most canonical acclaimed film.
They're coming off a decade of bangers.
Excellence. And then they're doing something completely unexpected, which is honestly kind of fascinating.
And in defiance of the people that are financing their film.
Yeah, and essentially, zigging when everybody wants them to zag. And I think that it's an interesting thing that we're going to talk about.
Sort of.
Right? I think so. I think they're kind of zigging to zag.
When did Singing in the Rain come out?
Well, thank you for asking me a question that I shouldn't know.
It was a couple years after this, right?
Singing in the Rain?
Mm-hmm. Or was it like a decade after this?
You also have Google, too. You could be looking this up.
No, but you're the main guy.
1952.
Yeah, so the year after this.
Yeah.
So this was the time to be making a movie like this.
True, and I mean, like, right after the Red Shoes, it kind of makes, honestly, sense to make a movie like this. Sort of tap their toe,
I mean, this is honestly, the end idea of this movie is the same end idea of the Red Shoes.
They're like, what if we just expanded that sequence?
Yeah.
It's almost like the Red Shoes was a test.
What if we did 3 ballet sequences for the Red Shoes?
What if we did
one movie?
A 2-hour and 12-minute movie where it's just the greatest sequence ever in history of film, and we just expanded that out?
And then what if it kind of felt like a whole meal that was dessert?
Yeah.
Right?
Then we talk about it.
That is my one sort of quibble with the movie, is that it is sort of a.
Well, we'll get into that
meal.
more, but we can't do this alone. We're not alone. We're never going to be alone when it comes to something like this.
No, it's not just the Tales of Hoffman. We got a Hoffwoman here as well.
Returning guests, our friend, Pop Coaster Confidential, super host, wonderful podcaster, inquisitive interviewer,
Great friend of the show.
Great friend of the show, Christina Jeurling Birro. Welcome back to Director Watch.
Thank you so much for having me. I was promised Timothée Chalamet's fourth share to explain the sort of brainier aspects of opera and ballet.
I knew Christina was going to do this. I didn't even need to set her up. I knew that she was going to do this.
Actually, a great question. What does Timothée Chalamet think of the films of the Archers?
Is so fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated. But also, in terms of Hoffman women, I cannot wait to talk about
this movie.
The Hoff women.
Yes, there are Hoff
the women
at
in
the center.
The Tales of Hoffman.
Exactly.
Christina, I have to ask you, I guess it is topical frame of mind. We recorded the Red Shoes episode with Sophia early before the Timothée Chalamet dam of opera and ballet broke on the internet and across. Like, Jay and I get asked about it at work. Like, we're asked. I think it was truly crazy that even Spielberg at South by Southwest is up on the stage being like, This Chalamet guy, right? He really hates it.
It was crazy how much flack he caught for that.
It's so crazy, but like, what do
I
you think
feel
about all
sorry
of it?
for. I think it was a bit too much.
Yeah.
And at the when the Oscars finally rolled out by like joke four, I was this is it's actually doing opera and ballet a favor at this point.
Do you think
So
that like people were using this ballet opera thing to kind of code their already disdain for Chalamet and the way he's been
They were
acting?
trying to embarrass
yes,
him for
Yeah,
sure.
they
Yeah,
like it was
were. They
to
were.
absolutely.
like put him down and like put
Between
him.
the Kardashian and the Marty
He
Supreme
could do
marketing
nothing right
tour,
at
The
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 end.
SAG speech last
rapping,
year.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
He had it.
Yeah.
He had it coming.
They wanted to humble him a little bit. I
I
mean, like
think for sure.
when Spielberg said that, it did remind me of like when he sort of that Tarantino story of when he flexed that Forrest Gump was going to win the Oscar and that he was going to win original screenplay, and it's like it really just kind of puts in perspective. Like if Spielberg's kind of shitting on you, that means like the big
Yeah.
people in Hollywood want you to like settle down
This is over.
be a little bit more humble and stop talking, which is kind of what he did. And then he did that interview, which I still contend McConaughey looks 10 times worse in that interview. Like
I just don't. I just
he sounds
don't-
like a crazy
I
man.
think that is such a nothing thing that just got.
It was really blown out of proportion
I mean, he's been saying
and
it
out of context.
since the Call Me by Your Name days. He just said this. He just said it now on CNN as opposed to saying
He said it. He said it in a very direct way that was off-putting to some people.
But it's also like,
But nothing he said was incorrect.
but isn't his art form, the cinemas, on the verge of death as well? Like we always hear about, like the cinemas
Not
are
death, but I know what you're
on
saying.
life support. Like, so it's like it's kind of rich and a little
Well,
hypocritical to say
Hail
that.
Mary Project Hail Mary just saved theaters. I'm not sure if you saw that or not.
Yeah, but like how many times are we going to keep saying that the
No,
theaters
it's
need to be
saved.
saved?
Ryan, it's saved.
And then
They've
next
been
weekend
saved.
something's going to flop and everyone's going to read the headlines. Oh my God, it's on fire.
Well, it's not going to be this week
Mario
because Super
won't
Mario
be
Brothers is
flopping.
coming out, and that's
oh, is
gonna
that
make
coming out this week? See,
$6
that's the thing.
bajillion dollars.
I didn't even know that movie was coming out, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I saw the first one. Did you guys see the first one?
Yeah, it's a movie for
Yes.
6-year-olds. Like
I
it's
have a
almost like it's
child.
not worth reviewing. It's really just it's like reviewing a Minions movie. You know,
Yeah, but they're just intended to make $2 billion,
good for them.
right? No, I'm just saying that that's what they're intended to make, right? Like the Minecraft movie.
It's interesting that they are directed at that audience because that is a video game franchise that I would say
Excuse for our
adults
generation more.
have more nostalgia for.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
I think they kind
Well,
of
that's why the adults go
it's
too.
Illumination though. You
yeah,
know?
but they kind of tended to like spew it towards more of like the Wii generation, or it's got sort of that like,
I mean, I think the first one worked for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because the infantilization of the adult audience is something that we could talk about for the next hour if you want to. But I think that is definitely a symptom that is shown in the box office of the Super Mario Brothers.
Christina, how
Super
many times?
Mario Brothers movie, is that what it's called?
Yes, I think so. How many times did you see the first one in theaters, Christina?
I saw it once with my kid, and then he saw it many times at home, and I did not
Oh, okay.
participate.
Did you like the Super Mario Brothers movie more than the Minecraft movie?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
The Minecraft movie I thought was hideous.
But what's the constant in there?
Jack Black?
In
Jack Black.
yes,
No, we're not doing this. We're not having you
No.
spew your anti-holiday Jack Black propaganda.
No, I'm
on
not.
this show.
I
That's what you're trying to
actually-
do here, and I'm not going to stand for it.
generally pro Jack Black. I think he's very funny, but he definitely
Yeah, well,
we
you
just
loved
rewatched
Anaconda.
School of Rock. We just rewatched School of Rock.
School of
because
Rock
my kid started
rules.
playing the
Yeah,
drums,
Anaconda was
and-
garbage. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
and that's great. That was the. I mean, School of Rock, not Anaconda.
He
If
got
you told me
nominated-
10 years ago that there was going to be a movie with Paul Rudd and Jack Black, just whatever the movie was, I would have been like, absolutely, that's going to be phenomenal. Honestly, more than 10 years ago, probably 15 years ago.
Probably Tip
They
Noah.
both kind of, as soon as Rudd got into the MCU,
That's when
he
it.
sort of
That's
went downhill.
he's wonderful in a movie coming out later this year. The new John Carney film, Power Ballad. He's fantastic in it.
Mm.
It's actually
That'll
like,
be
wow,
good.
Paul Rudd can act. Like he's really, really good.
Every now and then he will do like a small.
Well, that's what he was kind of known for making like a lot of small indie films before he got sucked up into the Judd Apatow world of
Yeah, that
comedy.
one. What was it called? Like My Idiot Brother? Is that what it was
Yeah,
called? Like
yeah, yeah.
not a particularly good movie, but cool that he did it.
But like an interesting thing for him to do.
The
You
one for
know,
me was always Prince Avalanche.
that's a good movie. The David Gordon Green
I
one.
like that movie. Yeah.
It's a good movie. Emil Hirsch. Yes.
Emil
What happened
Hirsch
to Emil
and Paul
Hirsch?
Rudd. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I mean, he got kind of canceled,
he's
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Kind of
he had some
problematic.
not so great
But
accusations
you know
thrown
what?
his way.
He's very excited about that Speed Racer 4K, just like me and Jay are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Christina,
But
do you
the
like
Paul
Speed Racer?
No, I have. This is not in my wheelhouse.
You have not. Have you seen it?
No, no.
I think you should watch that with your kid. It's a great
Okay.
movie, honestly. Well, you like the Wachowskis, right? You like the Matrix
Yes.
films,
Yes.
right? And you like Cloud Atlas,
Yes.
yeah. So this is like,
This is for me.
yeah. Oh, it's totally for you. If you like their aesthetic and you like that they lean and making movies with their heart as well as their head. That's what Speed Racer is. It's all about
Okay.
the
Paul
power of
Rudd
love.
Paul Rudd also the star of one of my favorite movies that no one has ever seen
Which one?
that wasn't even in movie theaters. Ideal Home.
No,
Which
I've
one's
not
that?
seen that.
What?
Yeah.
It's
You were
him,
correct.
him and Steve Coogan. They play a
Oh, the
gay
gay couple.
couple
You
who
told me
are
about this.
yes, yeah, I love it. It's so
Like they're
good.
trying to adopt a kid or something?
Steve Coogan had a prior relationship with a woman
Okay.
that resulted in a child. And I believe this is the grandson that they are basically is foisted upon them, and they have to raise. They are a gay married couple.
You told me that this is like one of those underrated gems that
It's
like
so
is very
funny.
rewatchable.
It's so funny. It's on Amazon Prime. Everybody check it out. Ideal Home.
All right. We're not doing
Not even
that.
it's not even rated. That's how little it came out. It doesn't even have an MPAA rating.
That's great. Kind of, and we're getting just what is it? Weekly
Is it a
recommendations
British
at the.
production?
Yeah, is it a British production?
Yeah. Is
Mm,
Coogan?
it is an Andrew Fleming film,
Okay. Interesting.
which he is an American filmmaker, so it is just an American movie.
Well, speaking of British
It
productions.
premiered at the Mardi
Yeah.
Gras Film Festival,
Oh my God. All right.
one of my favorite film festivals.
Yeah. Well, you've never
Oh,
And
that
been
is an
Shia
to.
LaBeouf's
Australian LGBTQ plus film festival.
Oh,
That is
okay.
not what I expected the Mardi Gras Film Festival.
Where did you
to be.
expect the Mardi Gras one to be?
You know what? Ryan. I'm gonna be just plain honest with you. Thought it was gonna be in New Orleans.
There you go. All right. That's fair. And it's just going to be like handing out beads for every screening you see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Distributed
okay.
by Brainstorm Media.
Oh.
Not our finest studio we have working today.
Their
But speak,
Wikipedia
Well, we
page
went on a
is
big
2
tangent.
paragraphs.
Jay,
Yes.
please stop. Thank you. Speaking of British productions, we're here to talk about the Tales of Hoffmann. But first, I want to get Christina's thoughts on Powell and Pressburger as a director duo. We've talked a lot about them, Christina. So I'm just curious about for yourself, like being such a great lover of film, you have to be a great admirer of Powell and Pressburger and what they have given cinema on a whole. So for yourself, what is it about Powell and Pressburger that you love? What are some of your favorite films? Some of their favorite moments? Some of the things that stick out for you when you watch their films?
I am a fan, and my initial relationship to the Archers was through Red Shoes, Canterbury Tales at uni, I'd say. And then, honestly, as with so many others, it's through Marty and Thelma. I mean, they just, my obsession with their Scorsese and Thelma's stories, their relationship to their films. I mean, just those little details, like, Freddie Francis was a camera operator on the one we're going to talk about, and then he's the cinematographer on Cape Fear, and all these little things that Scorsese talks about in the multiple interviews he's done regarding them. Thelma's beautiful love story with Powell. I'm obsessed with that, and how she calls it the 10 best years of her life. He was so much older than her, and then ends up saving his work. I just think that's a movie right there. George Romero, you guys, of course, know the story, how, he talks about how he would go rent Hoffman. Like hundreds of times he rented the movie when he was young, and occasionally it was out, and some other young fellow, he talked about, where is the movie, and that was Scorsese who was renting it parallel to him. So those things I just think are beautiful, but their films are just emotionally captivating. Maybe not as emotionally captivating. Hoffman, not as much for me as some of the other ones, but it's just an absolutely dazzling, ambitious, crazy bananas work of art about a guy who gets shit-faced in a bar, and just his love life sucks so hard. I'm expecting to talk about Hoffman's love life at length during our hour here.
He's doing great.
Yeah. And just Helpman's eyebrows.
Yeah. That's the thing about that's the thing about all their movies, but in particular when I was watching this one, Christina, their attention to detail is insane. And just and really the costuming, the makeup, the hair design, everything that they have going into this film. Everything is like, if you've had an idea for like the last 10, 15 years of working together and it wasn't put in one of their other films, they got to throw it all. This is kind of a kitchen.
Movie's got style.
I think this movie's got kitchen sink style, man, and that's not a bad.
Exactly, everything's.
That's not a bad thing.
You see the influences from Disney, from Fantasia, and then everything is. Just
There's a little bit of like even Baz Luhrmann. Like, he's got to have watched this movie and like
this was influenced certainly by Elvis.
There's got to.
Powell and Pressburger watched Elvis and were like, let's take this up a notch.
You mean the other? Well, okay. So you're saying that there was like a time machine. They came in the future.
If anybody has a time machine, it's Michael Powell.
It's Michael Powell. Yeah.
And he's like, "What's in the cinemas today? Oh, they got a movie about a man who moves his hips." Okay, I will watch that.
You took the "and" out of Romeo and Juliet and made it a plus sign.
Oh, would have never guessed that. Oh my God, a movie about an entire continent, Australia. My God.
He would have loved Australia.
Oh, he would have loved Australia. Are you kidding me? Those sweeping vistas, the cliches, you name it. No, I just think that like yes, Jay, to your point, I think this movie's got massive style. I think it just oozes style from the beginning of this thing. And I agree with you, Christina, like emotionally, it may not all the way be there, but it's got a little bit of kicker by the end. And there's something tantalizing about it.
You can't take your eyes off it.
You can't.
But
no,
that's the main thing about. But I'm interested in hearing which one of the three.
We gotta rank the segments.
We're gonna have to rank the sequences.
I feel like there's a lot of different ways to go.
Jay, was this the first time watch for you?
No. I'd seen this before.
You've seen this before. When did you see it? Did you see it when we initially reviewed it, or
I
not reviewed it?
I believe I did watch it. I think this is the third time I've seen it.
Okay, and then you watched it when you got the blue.
When I watched the Criterion, when the Criterion came out, and now again for this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on it?
Great film.
Okay. All right. No, we can wrap it up and we're done. We don't need to keep going. All right. It's a good film. Christina, good film?
Good film.
All right. Then we're done. Wow.
No, this is
we did it.
This is my Fantasia. I mean, that's really what this is for me.
Wait, did you not like Fantasia?
I like Fantasia fine. This for me, I know I'm supposed to adore Fantasia. I think What I think this movie has that Fantasia doesn't is a really solid structure. Like it actually has a
Yeah,
cohesive narrative that
just enough,
it's got a
right?
base to it that makes the seemingly separate pieces kind of fit together by the end. I mean, all three of the big pieces in the film are actually essential to the grander story of the movie and what the grand theme is. Um, it is truly just unfiltered imagination and creativity. The funny element of that being, of course, that Michael Powell fought tooth and nail against the producers of this film to get his cut released, which it wasn't. And then he sort of turned his nose up to the very idea of film production and film financing. And he became very jaded after this movie because they cut out a lot of the third act, which is now what you see on the Criterion, is theoretically his vision of the movie, an extended cut versus what was released in at least U.S. theaters. Internationally, I think this might have been the international cut, but at least in American theaters, they had a shorter cut that reduced the third big sequence of the film, which is arguably the thematic crux of the entire film.
Not
But
the first time, Jay, that they've had one of their films cut when it's made its way over. When we talked about Colonel Blimp, that film was
yes,
reduced down as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But for whatever reason, this was the one that kind of broke him.
Yeah.
And this
I could kind of
is,
see it, to be honest with you. This is a delicate balance. I mean, and this is different than any film really that they had made.
I
I
mean,
mean,
this feels like unfiltered id.
yeah,
Colonel Blimp was made during wartime. It's crazy that it was made during wartime,
yeah,
but when you look at the content of the film, but it was a film made with a sense of, if not national pride, national appreciation, national reflection.
National
It,
Reflection's
it
the
was a
better way
film
for it. Yeah,
made in a very different time when maybe he wasn't as entirely focused on the singular vision, because there was a lot of stuff going on in the world at that time. But at this point now, it is all about the art. It is all about the vision. And this is a film where his vision was compromised to a certain extent. And that is probably part of the reason that this is the last Archers film that we are covering in our series. We are covering Peeping Tom as sort of a bonus episode, but this is the last proper Archers movie that is really canonical, as far as I'm concerned. And it is a movie that, on paper, this is not a movie I should like at all. Opera, not exactly my thing, but just from an aesthetic perspective, I just vibrate every second of watching this movie. It is stunning, absolutely stunning. And that is more than enough for me, but it also does have a lot of ideas on its mind. And I think each of the big opera segments has a really essential, deep meaning to it, that then culminates into sort of the grander vision of the film at large. It's a movie that I appreciate greatly. Not one of my absolute favorite Archer's films, just because of its sort of very nature, but it is kind of the ultimate example of what Michael Powell called the composed film. It is a grand experiment, made so elegantly and impeccably.
it's kind of unlike anything, like you said, Jay, like that we're gonna talk about, and it's a movie on paper that honestly shouldn't work. Like it just sounds like in
And for some, I don't think it does.
and I don't think it does. You're right, Christina. I think that as much as we all praise it
It
here,
is relentless.
It's
yeah,
relentless.
it is a full
Again, all
on
dessert.
like
It's
I could
unbelievable.
understand it being sort of almost an assault on the senses, and an assault on the audience I mean, this is Jay once again. I tell you, put your mind back into the time, and you're an audience member, and you know of Powell and Pressburger, and you go to see this film, and you're like, so all they did was make an opera? and they made it like that, and it's like where's this, and so it's not as, I think, accessible of a film as the other films in their
No,
filmography.
this is a movie that you should absolutely not. There are movies you recommend in the office. That's
Yeah.
my barometer. This is not a movie you recommend in the
No, this is
office.
like, what did you guys review tonight? And you're like, a movie for us, not a movie
Don't
for
worry
them.
about it.
I
Yeah,
mean, like,
this is what my wife would refer to as a J movie, not a regular
yes,
movie.
yes. This is the Orion pick. Where the Christina, do you have that? I mean, like you and your husband Peter, he's a filmmaker, so I'm assuming like you guys have somewhat similar taste. But when like a movie like this is presented, or something that's maybe different than him, does he ever be like, "Oh, that's a Christina pick," or you're like, "Oh, that's definitely a film for Peter and not for me"? Do you kind of have that divide?
A little bit, but Peter's also very screenwriterly in the sense that he has like 4 films, and he'll go back to those 4 films
What
for
are those 4 films? Are they his letterbox 4 films?
Once Upon a Time in America. That's
Okay.
like the big one. Magnolia.
Okay.
I mean, those two are rewatches like 10 times a year and
Nice.
just segments of them and
Did
little
he
things like
pick the longest ones because he doesn't like spending time with his family?
that's it. That's exactly. Oh my God.
What are the other two,
I, I
Christina?
just, I just, what are the other two? Let me think. Those are the two that I'm thinking of right now.
Do
Let
you
me get
have
back.
films that you watch over and over again? And he's like,
Less, I mean, I have films that I watch over and over again, with every new kid I have. We need to go back to E.T. We need to go back to, but I'm not as much as him. He's much more of a rewatcher. I'm much more of looking at what's coming up,
okay, but there's never
seeing
like that
everything
divide where you're like,
work-wise.
oh, we're watching a Peter movie tonight. You know what I mean? There's
Well,
never that.
we have a big fight about the dinosaurs in Tree of Life.
Oh, see, okay. Oh, you're gonna get Jay mad if
I
you
was
if
about to
you
say the
I
only
know.
movie I watch like every 3 months is The Tree of Life,
Yeah,
but
and and that's one of his too. Huge
interesting
fan.
for a screenwriter to be like Tree of Life. That's the one.
Oh, but that's yeah,
Hey,
he's
but
very
that's also what we talk
emotional.
about with the visual form. That's
Mm.
what it is. I'm not allowed to watch movies on repeat in the house anymore. I think
What were
at
the ones that got you in trouble? Once Upon a
ah,
Time in Hollywood. I
yeah, that got me in trouble.
feel like you were watching that one a lot.
Phantom Thread got me in trouble. Um, the one that kind of broke the a couple of years ago was Oppenheimer. I was watching that one, and
Mm.
Christina knows
Well,
this.
you have we are all irritated at your
Yeah,
Oppenheimer
yeah, I know,
rewatches
I
at
know,
this
I know.
point.
Well, yeah,
See,
but
my wife is a rewatcher, but she rewatches Devil Wears
but then
Prada.
there's films like
Oh,
that.
how are you gearing up for two?
The Fugitive.
It is dominating our household. The
I can imagine. Do you
my
have the popcorn bucket purse yet?
Wait,
but
is
look,
that a real thing?
by hook or by
Yes.
crook, I will get the damn Devil Wears Prada 2 popcorn
Jay,
bucket purse.
if you don't get it in at the theater, you can always go to eBay.
I know.
You can
Yeah,
always
I'm
go
gonna
to
go to
eBay.
the secondary market for the Devil Wears Prada popcorn purse.
Listen, you want your marriage to survive. The next time I'm in Atlanta and that popcorn bucket's not in your house, I'm gonna go. How are you not dead?
No,
I'm gonna
do
be
you want to
honest.
know how intense it is actually? My wife
I'm pretty
said,
sure it's pretty intense.
"Hand off the kid to my parents for the weekend. Staycation hotel, Devil Wears
Oh,
Prada 2. Let's make a weekend of it."
but that's fun.
I
That's
would be
fun.
that sounds great.
I event movie,
Event movie. That's
There is
the
not a
event
film this
movie
year my
of the
wife will do
year.
that for. I don't think.
which actually Hoffman is very much an event movie.
I'm gonna do that for Disclosure Day, but I want to go to Area 51 for it.
I think there's only maybe one film that maybe my wife really wants that for. She's really excited for Werewolf from Robert Eggers. That's her
So you
film.
go to the woods.
We're gonna
Yes.
go literally to the woods. Full moon. It's got to be a full moon. It's not. What are we doing at that point? Yeah, in a cabin. Yeah. Um. She that
That's
but
that's an interesting one.
Jay, the Nancy movies are also films that put me in the penalty box. Like something's got to put me in the penalty box. The Interns put me in the penalty box.
Interesting. My wife would watch specifically The Intern anytime. She
Indiana Jones
adores
has
The
got me in the
Intern.
penalty box. Raiders of the Lost
Yeah, I
Ark.
can't really watch Indiana Jones.
Star Wars has got me in the penalty box. Lord of the Rings is not a penalty box movie because she'll watch
What
it
are we
whenever.
thinking about the Stephen Colbert?
Yeah,
Oh, son of a bitch. God damn it. I knew you were going to bring this up somehow to me today.
I'm loving this. I just think,
I
he gets
I'm totally
fired
okay
in the
with
whole
it.
thing and
And
he's
I know
following his
Jay's
passion. I think it's great.
and just wait, Christina. In about 2 seconds,
I'm waiting. I
this
understand.
man is going to just absolutely
Unleash.
obliterate this idea and shit all over it. So, Jay, open it up. What do you got to say about it?
All right, so I'm not familiar with the story that is going to be adapted,
Okay.
but we're just gonna let Stephen Colbert write a movie?
Well, he's not writing
Like
it
he gets to
alone.
write a giant blockbuster with his
Son and
son?
Philip Bodens, who wrote the original Lord of the Rings films. Yeah. What are
Yeah,
you?
whatever.
Are
It's
you
not
mad?
like
Are you mad about
only
that? That it's him?
only half of the Lord of the Rings movies are good anyway. So
God damn
Exactly.
it.
I was going to say we need
Okay.
to
Oh, because the
infuse some
Hobbit
it's
movies.
it's not a
Yeah.
precious property at this point. But
I
no,
think
I
the
mean,
original
Ryan,
trilogy.
I have said this to you before. One of the great tragedies of the 21st century is how Stephen Colbert just like watered himself down and became
You could feel though that this was
completely,
This was inevitable, though.
yeah,
I
I
mean, like,
guess. I don't know.
I mean,
I think the
like,
Colbert Report was one of the great television programs of the last 20 years.
I know, buddy, and I know that you don't care for him and his new sort of sense and format, but it also was like the dude got absolutely fucking jaded and like fucked by a political system that is 1000% corrupt. And if his
I'm pumped for
consolation prize,
Paramount. They're going to
if
do good stuff.
if his consolation prize is to get to work on a childhood project, like here's the
What you just said to me is like treating him like a baby.
yeah,
That you're
but you
treating
know
him like a
what?
Make-A-Wish kid. Like
No,
what?
it's
Like
but you know what? I equate it to
But
being no
the
different
amount of
than
writing, it's different writing, but the amount of creative output that Colbert's been doing for the
yeah,
past decades,
yeah.
yeah.
he
He's a
even knows, doesn't he
he
study
knows
like
that lore
languages?
backwards
I
and
mean,
forwards.
He has always that has always been a part of his persona
it's
is his
his
Lord of the
life.
Rings obsession.
If it was just
But
like
an
if we had
obsessive does not mean that like Peter Jackson
was not a
wasn't a
fan,
Lord of
really.
the Rings
Yeah,
obsessive.
no,
Yeah.
And he made
But
Lord
I
of the
don't,
Rings.
yeah, exactly.
Great job by him.
Well, I kind of equated a little bit to like James Gunn. Like James Gunn's always been a big fucking nerd, and we gave him the entire DC property. So it's it's a little bit of like somebody just that loves the property, taking care of it. Who knows how much it's going to be a part of it? To your point, Jay, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the great trilogies of all time. The Hobbit trilogy, absolutely dog shit. So like,
Michael Powell knew nothing about opera.
so he didn't, or you
Not
just
much.
not much. Well, then there you go. See, he didn't know much about it, and then look, he made made this.
Michael Powell loved music and he loved movies.
Yes,
And so does Colbert.
yes, and I don't see of it as a bad thing. Like, there's far worse things out there in the world.
My feelings aren't going to be hurt if the movie is bad, but it just on its face to me feels a little cynical.
You think it's cynical?
Oh, I see the
See, I think
opposite.
the thing that I saw the
Yeah.
trailer for today was much more cynical than hearing this fucking news.
Oh, the Harry Potter? That
Fucking-
looks amazing.
It looks like fucking dog shit.
Boy, oh boy.
It
What I
looks
love so much is that they made it look exactly like the
Exactly
first
same.
movie, but worse.
Talk about cynical.
And what it made me think is, wow,
Yeah.
we have to maybe do a Chris Columbus series on
I'm
this
so
podcast.
mad I'm going to watch that show.
Why?
Like
no,
I'm
you don't
pre-
have to.
I'm pre-mad at myself
You
for
don't
watching
No,
that
you
show.
do not have to watch that show, Jay.
I'm just
You
telling
don't
you, I'm
have to do it.
pre-mad at myself for watching it. My wife is absolutely gonna want to watch it, and I will watch it.
It's the beauty of my wife. She's never been a what is it, a pothead? Is that what they call them?
Yeah, pothead.
So she's never been. She's like, I fucking hate it. I don't care. She's always been a Lord of the Rings person. But even she, when I told her the Colbert news, she was kind of like, oh, okay, good for him. Like, she wasn't happy.
I mean, that is honestly the reaction. Is like, okay,
Good for him.
time film
I hope
screenwriter is
she
going
just
to
told me, she's like, I hope
write a
the movie's
movie.
good. Yeah, she's like, I hope it's good, and moved on with her life. I'm sure he's written other stuff, like he's written other films and stuff, right?
I don't
This
think he
isn't the
has
first
any
time he's.
film screenwriting credits.
Does he? I don't
Look it
know.
up.
Anyway, Tales of Hoffmann. While Jay's looking that up, Christina, uh, tell me. I mean, was this a first time? This wasn't a first time watch for you, right? Like you had
No,
seen this
but
before.
long time ago.
When
So it was
when did
fun.
you first watch it?
Oh, I think
In school?
yes, long, long time
What
ago.
was your opinion on it then, and has it changed?
Well, I think what's so wonderful about this movie is that every time you watch it, there's like 200 new things to see in every of the three stories.
Hmm.
So you just can't stop. You just can't get your eyes off it. It's incredibly detailed. So um, the rewatch was just a new, and also this time around, I had all the Scorsese, feelings with
You had the
me.
documentary in
Um,
your head.
the documentary, everything was there in another way. So it was just such a rich rewatch.
Yeah. Jay,
But
did
I
you?
know very much. I mean, I know I have favorites in the movie,
So
very
favorite
much so.
sequences and segments?
Yes, yes, and
Okay.
it really
I want to hear those in a second. Jay, did you pull up the Colbert stuff?
He wrote the Strangers with Candy movie with all the other
right.
Strangers with Candy
Which is
people.
a
So
which
that doesn't really count.
it does totally count. His name's
Why
on
Does
it.
doesn't
not
it
count.
count?
That
It
doesn't
just
count as writing a screenplay.
because you want to know why? Because he's not solo
What?
writing this movie either.
That doesn't count. It's very much not the same thing.
Oh well, he's going to be one of four people on this screenplay, so I guess that don't fucking count either.
That generally works out really well when you have four people writing a screenplay.
I mean, usually it does. Look at Strangers with Candy. That movie rocks. That's probably got a lot of people's name on it.
And
You
that's
just
four or five.
you're just anti Colbert, and that's what you just need to accept.
I do.
And you're happy he got
I
fired.
am actually kind of bitter about Colbert's arc
Okay, but like,
because I think he's a genius who took the easy road.
I mean, like, is it an easy road to take David Letterman's spot?
That show was so bad for a
Was
decade.
which one? The Letterman show with
No,
Letterman or his show?
his show, the late
Wait,
whatever that was, the late night.
You think it was bad?
Yeah, like straight up a bad show.
Oh, I mean, that's just sounding like a. I mean, Jay.
It was not a good show. I mean, I think the last. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I watched every night, but when I did watch it, it was just like it was one tier above Fallon.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. I didn't think that it was just sort of.
It was low
I don't
effort,
think it was terrible. I just think it was a typical late night show. I don't think he really,
and that I guess that is what I'm saying, which is that late night shows are bad.
Okay,
The last good one was Conan's.
yeah. Well, and Conan, like, wait, on the NBC or on TBS?
The maybe the peak
Either one.
of late night television was Conan post getting fired, but not yet getting replaced. That
Oh,
might
okay.
be the best that late night television ever was.
That's very true.
I watched that every night.
I will tell you, I did watch old Craig Ferguson when he did his late.
He was pretty
show,
good.
and
Yeah,
Craig
he
Ferguson was
was
great.
funny.
I love
well,
Craig
all
Ferguson.
late night has been bad.
Yeah, I mean, like
The
it.
past
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's bad TV.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only stuff that I think is good is like the nights Jon Stewart are on, which is only Monday nights, and I think
Fallon is unwatchable.
Fallon's unwatchable. Kimmel's not far from it.
Kimmel's not good.
And I mean, and I like John Oliver's show, but that's not a late night show. That's a more of an informational show than it is like a traditional late night show. I mean, even something like Saturday Night Live is very inconsistent from week to week.
I mean, the dirty little secret about Saturday Night Live is that it's always been inconsistent, but
Exactly.
it doesn't have the level of talent that it used to.
Yeah, I mean,
No
it's host dependent. It always has been host dependent. The
I don't even
moments
think that's
Well,
true.
not the
But
Farrell years,
there's
not
no
the
hater. There's no
Dana Carvey.
it's
Kristen
been.
Wiig.
Have we been going on like a maybe the worst run of?
Who was the last
Saturday-
person to break out from SNL?
That's the question I was going to ask.
Mhm.
I can tell you somebody that's broke out, but it broke out because they
McKinnon.
left. And I think Tim Robinson,
Tim
is the
Robinson,
last
yeah,
person
he-
to
I
really
don't think
break
he-
out.
I don't think he
And he
counts.
broke out in spite of SNL, not because
Yeah,
of
exactly,
SNL, because
exactly.
they didn't know what to do with him. I think a lot of SNL's problems actually stem from Michael Che and Colin Jost being the head writers, because they're the ones that have been there so goddamn long, and it's like people are afraid to like.
Bowen Yang, I guess. Is that the answer?
Yeah, Bonyang.
I mean, Bowen Yang is pretty popular, you know.
But that's as much because of his podcast as anything else.
I mean, but he wouldn't have that podcast really in the
Oh, he had some
popularity if he didn't
iconic
have,
things in SNL. Okay.
yeah, if
Yeah.
he didn't have the platform from SNL. But yeah, he grew in spite of being like a really minimal player on
Yeah, he
SNL.
wasn't in SNL that much.
Yeah, like they didn't use him. I think. I mean, yes, I agree with you, Christina. He has like some great moments, but overall, like he wasn't. It wasn't like if you. I always think about with SNL people, the old remember the old greatest hits like DVDs that you would get, and it's like the
Hmm.
best of
The
Dana
covers.
Carvey or the
Yep.
best of Will Ferrell or all those, and they had to have two discs for Will Ferrell because that's how much shit he did. If I had to do a
I love
disc of
those, man. The Adam
Oh,
Sandler
those are the
best of.
best.
yeah, if
That
I
was the
had to do a
best.
disc of Bowen Yang, that's a very short 30 minutes maybe
You
of
could do it
him.
with Hater. You could do it with
Oh,
Oh, but you can do it with the women, with
Sudeikis
the
wig,
you could do it with McKinnon.
wig, definitely
McKinnon.
McKinnon,
Hmm.
Yeah. You could
Polar, and Tina.
Polar and Tina easily. You could do it with Will Forte. You could do it with Armisen. You could do it with all that whole era and
Hmm.
Sandberg,
That whole era
all
is
of them.
the last best
But like
era.
I don't know. I mean, like I don't even know half the people that are on there anymore.
Now they're
So
getting TikTokers, and I sound like I'm 77 years old, but that's where
But
they're
we
getting
are
people
talking
from
about
now.
Hoffman, or
I
are
mean,
we?
Yeah.
now, yeah, now we are
I
Hoffman.
found I sound like I was born the year that Tales of Hoffman came out.
Exactly.
Exactly. There you go. One ticket, please. Christina, what are some of your favorite sequences in the Tales of Hoffman?
Well, first of all, I really want to talk to you guys, like as I said, about Hoffman himself, sort of the first.
She's gonna turn the ship on us, Jay. This is how great of an interviewer Christina is.
Mhm.
If she anytime I'm on a show with her and I think, oh, I'm gonna get the upper hand, or like, oh, I got the questions ready for her. Christina's always ready with
Oh,
things, and this is why she's got a brilliant mind. Go ahead,
but
Captain. Steer the ship.
I, but I really want to pick your brains about Hoffman's, I mean, love life, but not so much his love life, but his approach to love and women and the stories that he's telling. But to answer your question first, I'm absolutely in love with Olympia, the doll sequence, the
Oh
first one.
man, it's
Um,
so good.
I not only I think Maura Scherer is an absolute revelation. She's just so gorgeous to look at. She's so emotive, even as a doll. I also think it's like a story. It's so modern in terms of AI and a robot, and he doesn't realize that he loves a robot. Also, it's about copyright issues. I mean, who has that in a story? You could make this version today easily about, all of these. I think it's amazing, the whole Helpman's costumes in this, the introduction. I think it's funny. It's absolutely my favorite. But in terms I mean, Julieta and Antonia have other, maybe deeper, darker, definitely darker issues than that one that we can talk about. But I just want to talk about Hoffman and how he sees, if these are three facets of Stella. So you have a robot, sort of a greedy prostitute, and someone who's so ill and will die from. I mean, this is how he sees women being controlled by horrible men. How is he going into relationships?
That's a good question. Jay, you want to tackle that first?
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly I mean, it all comes down to your interpretation, in my opinion, of the ending of the film.
Hmm.
Which the ending of the film, this movie to me really comes together when he goes to the beer cellar. And as
Exactly.
soon as you like see that stage, and as good as the dragonfly ballet sequence is from just a pure aesthetic, visceral level, when you go down to the beer cellar, that's when the movie really kind of starts.
That's when
Yeah.
he's going to tell his
Yeah.
story. That's when the
And
emotions come out.
it's it is a movie where you think about where does the metaphor start and the literal interpretation start. It's like there are two sides of the story he's telling. Clearly, there is some connective tissue between his literal life and the allegories that he is talking about via this opera. And at the end of the film, the question is you have these three women that's literally on the screen conjoined together to create Stella as a representation of his romantic suffering. And I think it is all about the same thing that the Red Shoes is about, which is it's all about suffering in the name of art, the connectivity between artistic expression and suffering and death, especially in the Antonia sequence, which I think is sort of the crux of what this movie is about. Um, and I think at the end of the film, it is all about this manipulation by Stella to reveal to Hoffman that creativity truly is the greatest state of existence. Um, and I think it is from Powell and Pressburger this expression of their intense obsession with creativity as to a certain extent like their biggest turn on. There's something erotic about the nature of creating things, manipulating people around them in the same way that you manipulate people when you're telling a story, making a film, things of that nature, completely heightening the surreality of the environment that you're presenting to people before you. I think it is as much as anything a film where the women are a metaphor for the sensation of creativity and the
All
the
right. Okay,
erotic
can
nature of
I
storytelling is kind of what it
I
is for
have
me.
to, yeah, okay. That's all beautiful and good and everything. And but what's interesting to me is the help all the Helpman characters. Because isn't this very much, yes, artistic, blah, blah, blah. I see that. But isn't this very much also a story about a guy who keeps getting another guy keeps taking all his women from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think to even go further off of
I mean,
Jay's,
Helpman is the interesting. All
But I
his
think that's
characters
the
are the one you want.
metaphor is it's like
yeah,
the inability to form sincere elongated romantic connection because of this supernatural force pulling
But
him
he's
away
also a
from that
wuss who's
romantic.
sitting there getting drunk, telling stories instead of taking.
I
Well,
think
absolutely. I mean that is really the thing that I maybe have a difficult time interpreting that is so metaphorical is the fact that he is telling these stories to people.
Yes.
And at the beginning, it's presented as this. It's like, let me tell you these ideas of the clown who
let me tell you
had
these
three
conquests.
failed,
Yeah,
great failed romances. But then they end up just being Hoffman in the stories. There is some convolution in there that can certainly be dissected and probably criticized to a certain extent. But the individual stories themselves, if you just take those, absolutely. I mean, there's so much to break down in each story specifically that goes far beyond just art is pain and art is a
Yeah, but you're so in because I think what's so interesting, I mean, maybe it's because it's my interesting. Like, listen, Carl, like Blimp, for example, and when Powell talks about, or when Thelma talks about her relationship with Powell, how they found each other so late in life, and how Powell basically says that many of the characters, the men in his films that are so emotionally restricted and repressed, that they actually sort of let their loves go. I mean, they just don't take advantage of the situation, which I think is such an interesting reoccurring theme in their films, that they sort of miss the opportunity for that great love.
I agree.
And I see
Yeah,
that here as well. Do you understand what I'm saying,
I
Jay?
understand what you're saying. I
Oh,
think,
I
yeah,
absolutely see that. And there's a reason that they fell in love after Peeping Tom, because
yeah,
I
that was when he
know.
had been
Isn't this
completely
amazing?
rejected from the artistic, the financial world of art. And
But
this
and I
is a
think
film that sort of
that
represents
love
that to a certain
story,
extent.
the love story that combines the your passion for art, and as well as the way he is as a man, and I just find that so interesting, and it's all in this film.
yeah. I think there's also, to Jay's point, there is a connective with that connective tissue to the red shoes. I mean, it's very much there within, you know, the pulling of Vicky between Lermontov and Krasta in that film, this sort of genuine love versus this obsession of art, and within there's jealousy, within there's these broader themes that then sort of then ultimately leads to her demise in the end of that film. I mean, that movie's whole, kind of lead off in the third act is because Lermontov never, he finally does act upon his urge to potentially have something more than just a professional relationship with her. I think he
He
does want to essentially at that point broaden the scope of, from the art into the personal, and there's damning repercussions for everybody that's involved in this film. For Hoffman, I think that he is a massive buffoon, and I think he is a massive and the way I interpret it was, I think he's a he's an admirer of art, and he's easily swayed by the beauties that are around him, and that makes him, I think, an ultimate sentimentalist and a bit of a naive persona, like is continuously falling in love with the beauty and the creation that is in front of him, in front of all three of these, and seeing the beauty in something that's artificial, something that is a little bit more rough on the eyes, and something that's more traditional with all three of these women. And yet there is something pulling them back. And I think that is always a very interesting thing. And if you want to get meta contextuality about it, or whatnot, there is always somebody else in the creative process that's pulling an artist away from their beauty, and is always really pulling the strings. And whether that's the money, whether that's the studio, whether that's in a creative partnership, whatever the case may be. And you never really get, and sometimes for artists, even though they are creating, they never get to fully feel like they have control, that they never, like this thing that they've fallen in love with over and over and over again. They kind of get it pulled away from them towards the end, or they kind of lull themselves into believing that they have this new profound love for their art form or whatever they're creating. And then by the end, you've realized that there's all these other people that are looking and they see the same thing, but they don't have, like, that's to me in that, sort of, opening in the first third sequence there that you're talking about, Christina,
Yep.
where he's, with Olympia, and she's more, she's incredible in that sequence,
Oh,
and she's just the way she's dancing and sort of, but it's very interesting. And obviously this is something of the time of that, like, she's mostly dancing, but you don't see her singing. And so there is sort of, like, I think, like an artifice there of, like, she's a doll. And yet the audience that surrounds Hoffman, I guess his subjects or whatever that's watching this, they're they're enamored with, they're the audience. They're enamored with this creation. But he's enamored with it to a certain extent because he's he's like the first to witness it. He's in love with it beyond a way in which an audience can, the way in which Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger would be in love with cinema even more than just you and I would. That it's something in their soul. It's something that's connected them even deep. And yet there are forces behind the scenes that can prevent that love from reaching its full completion of every single time they try to create and enact something. And I do think that as I was watching it, it is a kind of a culmination of decades worth of work and collaborations and compromises. And that, yes, I do love this stuff and everything, but by the end of it, I'm spent. All the stories that I've told have led me to exhaustion, have left me to, I'm the one defeated. And yet the creation is still walking out the door with the person that owns it, that really owns it, the money or the power or whoever has it behind it. So I think the movie
But do you think?
ultimately is a tragedy by the end of it. I think that this is a movie about, in my opinion, Powell and Pressburger saying that like we have as much control over this art and this beauty, and but really by the end of it, we are just these bumbling, hopeless romantics that are being taken advantage of and spent by the end of our process. But we will get off the mat and we will find another chapter where we're maybe it's time in between, maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months, maybe it's years, but they'll find the love again. And it is
Okay,
very
can I ask you a
fascinating to see
question?
it all, how behind the scenes it all kind of connects to that, and then it doesn't as well. And then this is considered like their last real big giant effort. And canonically it's not, but then he goes on to Peeping Tom after the separation, and then
But can I
it's
ask you
it's
a
almost
question?
exile.
In
Yeah,
the bigger metaphor of yes, the movie is very much, and many of their movies are very much about sort of artistic devotion versus love, and the industry and
hmm
feeling cheated out by producers and money and all that. But in the
Certainly post
smaller
like
picture,
yeah,
yeah,
post Matter
in
of
the
Life and Death
smaller
ish.
picture, do you guys think that like as a man or and as men, Michael, but did they see a conflict between being artistic people and having personal relationships?
I think
This is my
so.
question.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
this
so.
is
So
I
when he found his true love, could he not make this big artist? I mean, you know what I mean, just on a
I mean, he was,
personal
by the
level.
time he met Thelma, by the end, he's not really as involved artistically, right? He sort of
I
is. He's not at the
So
peak
is
of his powers anymore, right? So it is
this movie
that.
has the same conclusion that the Red Shoes does, which is in the Red Shoes, they make it very literal that in this time when our protagonist is faced with the decision of leading a more traditionally domestic life or pursuing her great artistic triumph, her
the
the
choice is
shoes
impossible.
literally take over her body and throw her off a
Kill
bridge.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I think, has a similar,
See, for
very
all of us
similar
married
themes
to
to that
artistic,
film,
to all of us in these kind of relationships, they won't survive.
or at least Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. Yes, although
Oh,
Pressburger less so. Powell, I think, was an extraordinary obsessive.
yes.
And
Yeah.
after this
See,
film,
this
that
is
that came
so
to fruition.
interesting.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
no, I agree with you both. I think it's massively interesting because it's a rather, I mean, it is, and to my opinion, it is a very cynical way of thinking about life. But then it's one that, for Michael Powell, it played out that way. I mean, most of his success with his
Well, depending on how you define success
well,
and
that is true. I
relationships,
mean,
because the
like
last, I
He
mean,
did not have a ton
it's
of contemporary success.
he didn't.
Uh,
Yeah, his contemporary
he has
success.
a legacy.
He has a legacy that's built largely in the past.
and a beautiful love at the end, who
Exactly,
actually
and
saved his legacy. I mean,
ex-
that's what's so beautiful about this
but
story.
he's the one that's creating, while she's creating this new wave of art and preserving
He had to find love
he's
to get
exactly,
legacy.
he's more of the support in that rather than being the creative force anymore. He's than he was when he was making movies like this. And so, like, to really answer your question, Christina, if he had met Thelma at the time of this, if she was around at this time, I don't know if it would have survived, because he was so obsessive and
Right.
creative, and that is something that, when people are chasing art, or people are chasing a purpose, or they're trying to chase a legacy, or they're just trying to get it out. Like a lot of it, like a lot about art is really just trying to get it out because it's in here and you got to get
To
it
be
out.
clear,
And
he married
and
Thelma 30 years after this, like a
yeah,
Yeah.
long
He was
time after
70,
this.
what?
Yeah.
yeah. And so, like, he was very much towards the end of his, definitely into his career and into his
After he had
life.
been completely shut out of the film industry,
Yeah,
basically.
he was
Exactly.
like living in a cottage.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, one of the
Yeah.
great
Until
people
Coppola
are
gave
just
him a
sitting.
residency in
Yeah.
LA.
But yeah, I
What a
mean, like,
cool thing to
it is
do.
a tug
It's
and
such a cool
pull.
thing to do.
It is. And yeah, it's
You rock. You're on retainer.
Yeah.
Write your
Come sit
biography.
here. Can you imagine having money to just say, I like, come here, come just,
Yeah.
give me inspiration.
Yeah, where's the nowadays
I
it'd
just
be
want
like,
to.
oh, I
I
get
just
to
want
stay
to
in a
hang out
cottage.
with
How
you.
much
I
is
want
that
to
going to
do
be?
that.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
pay people I'm impressed with to just hang out with me.
Yeah, I did. It just you want to do like what the Wallace Island, that movie that came out last year, where you just invite
Yes.
your favorite filmmakers over to the house, and you're just like, hey, talk to me about this
Hey,
sequence.
Steven, just come
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
here.
exactly. Hey, Marty, are you busy?
I mean, that's what they've been doing.
Oh yeah, that's what they all do. Like you hear about like filmmakers that, um, well, I mean, like Christina, you kind of had that a little bit of that experience because when you went to Bergman Island, and you kind of got invited out with Peter to that experience a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
Like
mean, that's
that's,
amazing.
I know, but that's sort of like a kind of a because Peter got an invite and you got to go into that creative space. Like that's where a lot of creatives get invited out in that area of the world. And I mean, it's depicted in Mia Hansen-Love's film, obviously, but like when you were doing that, was it last year or the year before? I
Last
mean,
year, yeah.
that's to that at a certain extent for creatives as well too. Like that I would honestly love to have been just a fly on the wall for some of those places for yourself, because it's got to be like I mean, it's his space, and he's such a vital filmmaker as well too. That had to be a little bit of a pinch me kind of
Oh,
like
that was incredible.
you
Yeah,
know.
particularly to like walk around his house, not just, and there's several houses that he had, but his house where he's written little notes, Bergman, on the wall and the floor of the bathroom, like he had a bad day and he would write a note on the bed. That's like you're
Did you go to the
in the
screening
head.
room?
Yes, we watched the movie at 4 a.m.
What did you watch?
Wow.
The what's it called? The one that's about, oh, sorry, it's 3 a.m. here. So
No, it's okay.
I'm tired.
3 a.m. for
They watched Pauly Shore's
Well,
Jury Duty.
exactly. That's what we watched.
I would have loved. Honestly, Jay, if she watched that, that would be like an all-time like
The
guest thing.
the equivalent of the Michael Powell thing is like if we made Richard Kelly a consultant for the podcast.
We just invited him
You've
on.
been completely rejected.
Yeah.
Come here. This is your safe haven.
Wow,
Sorry,
it's
Richard, we can't pay you what you want, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Interesting guy. What
It
he
is
doing?
interesting. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Though. But then, like,
It's
Sorry,
such a weird.
Hour of the Wolf
Hour of the
by
Wolf.
Tiemann. That's why
There
I
you go.
think about
There
it
you
in
go.
English.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, did you like it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was
Okay.
amazing.
Is it cozy in the Bergman screening
It
room?
is. It's very
Okay.
cozy. It's just a couple rows.
Did you fall
It's
asleep since it
You're
was
not
4
allowed.
a.m.?
No, absolutely not.
Are you not allowed to bring
Um,
phones?
oh no, nothing. And his seat is always empty at the front of the little
That's
screening
chill.
room.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like how
They have a dummy in the seat
No dummy.
with his.
it's like a
with
weekend at
paper
Bernie
copy of his
situation. They're like
face
moving
on
him around.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at
So,
this hour, at 4 a.m. in the summertime, it's completely light out. So that's why
oh, that's
you know,
okay.
so yeah,
Well, I mean, that's kind of cool.
it's
But then,
very cool.
do you have to? So, like blackout curtains, probably at that point. Then,
Oh,
or
there's
almost.
no windows in his little screening room.
Okay. Well, then there you go. There you go. Um, I see. I think that the sequence, the one that's also really heartbreaking too, is the Antonia sequence. I think that's.
Is that your favorite?
I think so, because to Christina's point about, and to the sort of overarching angle about this, is like that's literally about like she can't sing and express her art, otherwise she's going to die. And
That is the crux of the movie,
yeah,
I think.
and
It is also, in
yeah.
my opinion, the least interesting in a vacuum sequence of the movie.
And Helpman is literally playing the damn devil at that point. Like he is, like there's that shot where she's walking to the other side and sees her mother, and he's essentially like, and in my opinion, he's taking like her soul, her artistic soul away from her youth away from her in that moment. And that is one of the most beautiful goddamn sequences I've seen in a very long time. I was just mesmerized
That's
by
the
that.
most minimalist sequence.
It
too.
really is, but it's so effective. Like you talked about, like when you talked about, like, does this have some emotionality to it?
Yeah.
I'm not as moved by it if like as I am with like A Matter of Life and Death
That
or
is the
Colonel
most
Blimp or
emotionally effective sequence, though. But for me, when I watch this movie, I'm like gold member. I watched that Olympia sequence. I love gold.
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
like,
think I think it's to me when I was watching Tales of Hoffman, I was just thinking about and we talked about this earlier, but um like this is a beautiful artistic sensory overload, and yet it has so much personal things to say from Powell and Pressburger, particularly Michael Powell in this. Like I feel a lot. I'm not saying once again that Emmerich Pressburger doesn't have an influence on any of this. I'm not saying that, but you could feel Michael Powell a lot when you're watching this thing. And at least for me, I was
I mean,
feeling a lot of what he has to say.
we know more about Powell, so it's
Yeah,
easy to sort of
it's
Yeah.
very much easier
transpose
for us to say
the
that. But
yeah.
it also this has got to be
Pressburger
from
wrote the movie.
from a writing standpoint. This has got to be a massive
It's
undertaking
a huge adaptation. I mean,
for
there's a
Pressburger
lot
to have
of
to go through, and you can also just feel the logistics of everything that he had to pull off here. This is generally one of since he's more of the writer and a lot of from what we know through history, this is maybe one of the most difficult tasks he probably ever had to do in his career
It
as
had to have
well.
been.
This for this to be as in my opinion as cohesive as it is without losing the thread is a miracle within itself. At least when I was watching, I was like, I don't know how he's getting away with this. Like as much as every visual shot is elegant, every production design and costume, the makeup, everything works and feels like this just wild trip that they're both taking on. Cohesively as a narrative, to your point, Jay, like this could not make sense. And I think Pressburger does a great job at able to tying it all in and to get us back to us understanding of those bookends of In the Tavern and how joyous it is at first, and then quite honestly how devastating it is by the end. The exhaustion of telling these stories, the exhaustion of expression of love through art. It's all there, and
so
it's beautiful.
let me try and transpose these three stories into sort of a modern romantic context. I would
Okay,
argue the Olympia sequence is about two naive people who don't fully understand who they are yet falling in love into some sort of doomed situation. I would argue the second story, the Giulietta story, is about a an exploitative woman taking advantage of a love-struck man. And I would argue the third story is about a true romantic match doomed by interest outside of the relationship itself. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Okay.
you're
10 out of
wrong.
10.
No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to push back on you. No, you're good. No, I think that's you did it, Jay. You summed up this movie. Are you proud of yourself,
It's basically 500 Days of Summer.
Christina?
Remember that
Yeah.
movie? What's the legacy of 500 Days of Summer?
What's the legacy of that? Is that Mark Webb made a?
Embarrassing?
I think that's a good movie. I think it's a movie of its time. Is that
Very
better?
much of its time. Yeah.
Is it
Such a
the
crush on Zoe Deschanel back in the day.
Jay
My goodness.
is 500 Days of Summer our generation's Garden State?
I mean, that's kind of the same generation. That was like 6 years after Garden State.
Yeah, but like Zach Braff's like 20 years older than us. You know, like I'm like, do they fall in the same category as like movies of their time? But like they're, I'm
I mean,
like,
I think
why do people hate Garden State? Like it's like,
the most
do
instantly
people hate that
dated
movie still?
films of our sort of developmental film era. Juno, Garden State, 500 Days of Summer.
I think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind counts.
I disagree with that.
Oh.
I think it's the same thing. I think they're all. I think they get lumped there together. They got a gimmick
I
and a
do
hook.
not put Eternal Sunshine in a bucket with those films, you
I think
maniac.
Yeah,
so.
that's a
I
little
think that I think that they were all at one point. Some person that got introduced in the movie said that's the greatest movie I've ever seen, and they all kind of have a
It's a great movie.
cutesy, schmaltzy, romantic, sad, two-hander kind of thing going on
I
for
mean, I
it.
think the reason that film aged poorly is because Gondry never came close to matching it.
Correct. Same with
I mean,
Mark Webb. Mark
the
Webb
stuff
never
that
made a
aged
movie that
right,
was worth
exactly.
the shit after that.
I
Same with
mean,
Zach
it was
Can
Braff.
I get back to the
yeah.
point
We'll
Jay
talk.
was making?
Well, no, Christina, what are
No,
your
we
thoughts on
don't. You want
Garden
to
State?
actually talk about the
No,
movie?
no, but I want to just ask you in terms of because I agree with your little recaps of the three stories, but in terms of of Hoffman or maybe Powell Pressburgers, how they see women, these
Mhm.
depictions, because they're pretty simplistic depictions
They're
of three
simplistic. They're entirely
archetypes.
from the perspective of the man.
Yes,
Mhm.
archetypes and what they say three facets of Stella. Um, and they're all very controlled by devious figures
Mhm.
in a certain sense. And what does that say about Hoffman?
I mean, it's a feminist work for sure. Um,
Um, I mean,
I think you
But
could
I'm
argue.
not talking about it as feminist or
No,
not.
no,
I
no.
just think
I
it's an
no, no.
interesting way that these men are using
Well,
depictions
I
of
mean,
women
if
as a
if
metaphor. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just
well, I mean,
asking what.
Christina, if we are, I mean, if Jay and I and even you to a certain extent are saying that these women are versions of artistic expression, and
Hmm.
Hoffman is this person chasing after this love of this art, of
I don't think I would
this
say that each
love.
of them are necessarily
I mean,
interpretations of artistic
I mean, if they
expression.
are, that they are.
I think they
I kind of,
accumulate into some idea of artistic expression.
yeah, okay.
But I think each
So
story must be considered
on its own merit,
as it, yeah,
okay.
on it. Yeah.
All right, that's fine. But again, I mean, one way or another, you're saying that they are in one form or another about artistic expression. And
Yes.
if
I've
they
talked
are
about that for
being
like 20 minutes.
controlled by this entity, then what that says, I think, about Hoffman is just this like, well, one, I mean, like he's extremely passionate yet naive man. I mean, like there's that moment in the second sequence where he's just like, he's just devastated by I think what happened in the first sequence, but then also was like, I'll do anything. I'll be with anybody at this point. It's a very deeply, I think, desperate person because I think he's got a big heart, and I think he's got a big openness to art. But I think that with them being caged is very interesting if you're talking about them metaphorically as art and the idea of industry and particularly the film industry and how they caged women for so many years, for decades and decades. I mean, you know, you're talking about Maura Scheer, you're like she is a incredible actress, and she's, you know, you see her in this, you see her in the Red Shoes, you're like, how, you know, even in Peeping Tom, and you go like, how didn't she not have a giant career outside of it because of
Right.
the contracts and the way things that were like, you know, it was honestly, it's like weirdly Hollywood in a lot of ways because
She
actresses were
also
put
wasn't an
on,
actress
you know,
from the jump.
that's very true, Jay. But like a lot of actresses of the time were under contracts and under the thumb of studios and people and heads of studios that were more powerful than a director or a writer. That if they found their muse on screen, it's like, well, they're under contract,
She
or
was the
that,
doll.
you know,
And
they're.
at this point, she was 35. She was
Hmm.
dead to the world.
But I kind of think of it a little bit like maybe like that Christina is just like them
Yeah,
kind of
no,
commenting
that's the
about
thing.
a little bit of the state of how women are treated there. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch all the way and when it's being said, but that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, well, you can conceive of them as dolls and you can see of them as archetypes, or you can also see is that they are, because of the system is around him, because of Helpman and what he represents, this massive outside force of evil against art, and and the embrace of that sort of passion. Then I think that that's a fair thing to sort of kind of bring
But
up
I
about
don't
the
know what it
time.
says about me, but the MVP of this movie is Helpman and all his characters.
I
I
don't know
mean,
what that does say about you, honestly,
I
because
just,
like this man is like trying to stop
Well, he's the ultimate.
the,
Well,
the
really, what
void
that
of art and love and all that
I know.
connecting,
no,
which I think is,
but what does
but that
that
is
And
say
fascinating.
about Hoffman himself? Because what that says, because he is the person framing all of these stories, talking about these in
yes,
hindsight from his perspective, saying that the reason that I am such a sad sack loser is because of external forces completely outside of
yeah,
my control.
and I can't do anything. Wah,
Yeah.
wah.
Hoffman sucks.
I know.
Get out of here, bro. You
And
suck.
I mean, I would have fallen for the different Helpman characters in my pathetic youth over and over.
Yeah.
Ryan, who's your biggest crush out of the three?
Who's my
The women?
important person?
Which lady are you falling for?
I think Antonia's the one I would fall for, man.
God,
Also
I would fall
because
for Giulietta so
Julietta,
hard.
I
Oh
know.
my
That's
God.
something. I'm
also
thinking
Anne Ayer's
Julietta.
both doing her acting and her own singing in the film too as Antonia. It's like, okay, they found like the perfect person to play to play this. But yes, I think they
Steal my
all.
I see
reflection,
Jay
girl.
on that
Oh
gondola.
my
Yeah, I could.
God.
Oh man, no, don't get him started.
Kick me into the underworld.
Mm.
Christina, do you have important people? And do you, that you know the bit about important people on this show, like we with the people that we
I
crush
don't feel
on?
like Hoffman specifically is an important person in
Absolutely
this
not. He
Yeah.
particular
would never
film.
have
Yeah.
fallen. Hoffman's much too much of a sad sack.
Christina, do you
Yeah.
have any modern
Very young.
important people, like people that you're like you see in the movies, or you're like, oh, that
Oh,
they're
let
an
me think
important
about
person
it.
to
I'll
us.
come
Like for
back to me.
Jay, it's like Rebecca Ferguson. Like I mentioned
Yeah.
Oh,
Rebecca
that's a
Ferguson.
good one.
It's like
She's very important.
it's Dunzo for him at
Great
that point.
actress too.
Anybody,
I love
Great
Christina?
that
actress. I'll come
the
back to
movie
him.
with Chris Pratt. What was that one called?
Christina, I'm going to get that answer by the end of this. By the end of this, you're not going to be
All
able to
right.
dodge. See, that's great journalism right there, dodging the answers. There, I'll get back
It's
to
great.
you on that.
Ryan is a very harsh interviewer.
Yes, we're gonna that they wouldn't
So
want me
the
to ask them a
entirety
question.
of Rebecca Ferguson's career is your
No,
Well,
just
thing.
she's the important person.
yeah, not her
She's
career. Just she's the
that
important
doesn't
person.
necessarily mean that I've liked every movie that she's been in.
Yeah,
That
he's a
just
big
means
mercy guy. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the
I
one.
am
have you seen that?
I find her very aesthetically compelling.
Jay, have you seen that movie?
No, I've not seen
Mercy.
Mercy. As big a
Christina, did
Chris
you watch
Pratt
Mercy?
fan as I
No.
am.
Are you gonna watch it? Because
No.
Jay
it's
has to watch it.
Jay, you have to watch it.
I
I don't
have to
have to
watch
watch
it.
that.
Yeah,
It's
out of
on
pure
Amazon Prime, I
obligation.
think, which is scary. Yeah.
Yeah,
Christina's
I'll
a
get in
big Chris
trouble.
Pratt guy.
Oh,
I'll get in trouble with
that's the
my
one.
second
That's
wife
the
if I
one.
don't
There's
watch
your
it.
answer
Oh
right
God.
there. You can go to church with him on Sunday. You know what I mean?
You know, I think Leo for me.
Leo.
He's
Leo
been
with that mustache at the
yes,
Oscars.
but it's been someone who's been
Oh,
through my entire
Yeah,
Leo
yeah,
with the
yeah.
mustache.
I gotta tell you,
Fair.
he looked
The
good.
glow up on him.
hmm
Yeah. Christina, we're gonna have to do a Marty talk next year when that movie comes out because
Absolutely.
I started reading that book and Jesus Christ, guys, y'all aren't ready.
Absolutely.
Y'all aren't ready for that thing. This book's good. Jay, you
Can
got to read that book.
yeah, I'll maybe read it.
That's good.
The
Honestly, when I was honestly to not jump, put the horse before the cart there, or whatever the stupid fucking metaphor is that,
the opposite, cart before the horse.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is that like reading that and talking, Christina, you're mentioning about Powell and and Thelma and their love and their
Mhm.
relationship, and then reading this book, and this is very much so it's very much going to be about Mark Scorsese's relationship with his wife and the different marriages that he had to go through throughout his career. We talked on your show, Christina, about the Mr. Scorsese documentary, And
Yep.
there's a lot of that mirroring. You can understand why Michael Powell was was like one
Oh
of his like
yeah, that's what's so
admirers
fascinating.
because Marty was having to he was destroying his marriages and his
He's been
relationships with his daughters to do
navigating
that.
love and career and art in an artistic field forever. And
Yeah.
what he found at the end here is something so deep and completely different,
And
and the
yeah.
culmination of all these things that he's been through.
And now she's like
Um,
slowly fading away every day.
yes,
And it's
so
so
sad.
sad. It's so sad. It's so devastating. I mean, for Thelma, like she marries this man and he
Well,
passes
she
away
was
because he
40 and he was
was
70, right?
70.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like,
And they
you
had
know,
10 years that were apparently just magic in
magical.
terms of, because if the
And then she didn't did
combination,
she get remarried?
I don't know. But
Not that I'm seeing.
the
No.
combination of these two artistic brains and big passion. I mean, see, that's what we all want, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's kind of
And
crazy
that's what
too
I
with her.
think Powell didn't think he was able to get before he met Thelma. And that's what
Hmm.
he's depicting in these films. And that's what's so beautiful. You could not combine those two things. You can't
Yeah.
combine a life in the arts with romantic love that works.
It's just fascinating to see that.
Can I talk about things I don't love about this movie?
No,
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
I am
Go
interested
ahead.
in that. Sure,
Yes.
Jay.
As thematically rich as we continue to say this movie is, it doesn't make me feel that much.
Exactly. That's what I said at the
It's yeah,
top.
it's
Absolutely.
a little bit more of an intellectual exercise than an emotional exercise,
Yes. And a visual exercise.
which is weird for a film that is so expressionistic,
Yeah,
um, for it to kind of operate in that
I so
way.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Jay. I don't think it's a. I
And
don't.
that's why Olympia is my favorite one because
that's
it's
my favorite as
funny and
well,
yeah. And
Christina.
the other ones just are supposed to be emotional, but they don't work for me.
Yeah,
See, Antonia to me did get me. Um, but I was just more in awe and
I think that's
wonder
my
of the other
least
two.
favorite.
But I think
Yeah.
that's also the most emotionally, I wouldn't say manipulative, but as purposeful
It is the most
of the.
explicitly
Yeah,
emotional.
Yes,
exactly. It's
and
the
I think
one
that,
that
and I,
Yeah.
but I was,
tells you what to
but I don't
feel.
know if I was necessarily like crying as opposed to being like, my God, this is just a beautiful way to end this sort of third chapter. Connecting um, this devilish performance by Helpman into the afterlife. Like that sequence where it's sort of like a coliseum of like it almost feels like a graveyard. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about there? Where it's like where the matte paintings are in the back, but it's clearly all this is like done on sound stages, which is fucking crazy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that is sort of like a coliseum with the statues and
and but it feels like death and
yeah,
decay.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
like memorials to
like
people.
honestly, one of the more gorgeous, underrated, settings that they make I mean, they make like a ton of these beautiful settings. In this production design is absolutely insane. Like I can't stress enough to you on a technical level how like you may not
There are
like the
like
vibes or the themes of this
there
thing,
are
but
three sets that
man,
look a little too stagey for me.
which ones are
Uh,
they?
the one that I remember specifically is the black. There's like pillars with black sheer like curtains hanging over them in, I believe, it might be the Olympia sequence, or is it the Julieta sequence? I can't remember. There's ones.
I
There
think
are a
you're talking.
couple
I
times
think
where
more
I'm
the
like,
Julieta sequences are. I think they're the more stagey ones to me.
it's interesting that those feel a little more stagey, and it might be because they're more epic in scale than the others that they do feel that way. But
I mean, it
it is
doesn't help that
interesting
like
that
the Olympia sequence is like, and then also the tavern sequence too feels so lived in. Like, and so anything after
well,
that,
the
it's like
tavern sequence
you're
doesn't feel lived in. The tavern sequence feels like you're in a
hell.
museum, like or,
Like
or, or some sort of performance art.
I feel very like these guys have been like they're to me like they're in there, and this feels like their place to like really escape the world, and like this is the place that they rather be more than anywhere else. Like it
But what
does
about
feel.
Marty's favorite, the orgy sequence?
Oh yeah. There you go. You know.
Now we're talking.
Now, yeah. I want to hear Marty talk about the orgy sequence, and then that sequence. That's the inspiration for everything.
Another one that Marty goes into in depth in that Made in England
Mhm,
documentary is the Julieta boat
Yeah, the
fight.
duel.
mhm.
Yeah, which he said he watched for the first time in black and white and was still totally wrapped up by, which I'm like, man, you were watching that movie at like 1/3 of its power and you still
Exactly.
were completely consumed by it.
That's how you know Marty's a nerd for these guys. He would watch a
Yeah.
black and white. He would watch the black and
Well,
white
he
version of
built the
stuff.
whole raging bull fights on that
Yes,
duel
he
scene.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
like
just incredible.
Well, it was between that and the blimp
the
lead up to
duel,
the
the lead up to
Yeah,
duel
the
and
duel.
yeah to the blimp duel and then also sort of the duel here as well.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure. That's
but
it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Duels.
Anything else you guys want to?
dueling duels.
Anything else you want to mention?
Let me see.
Jay?
I don't know. I got nothing, man.
What?
Don't
What do you mean you got nothing? Did
I
you get
think
tapped out?
one
I'm
year?
over it. I'm over the Archers. I'm done.
No, I have a thing. I think one year because we should all meet up for Halloween, and all three of us have different Helpman costumes,
That guy's
and just
insane.
yeah, I mean, just the capes alone on several of the different
I
ones.
love the part where he like holds all of the women and then like takes off the masks and
Yes, yes.
reveals the next version of himself.
But can you guys imagine if we were all dressed as different versions of Helpman in Hoffman, and we meet that one kid who's like, "Oh my God, you
They're
guys
like,
are
I
Tales of
understand
Hoffman."
this reference. Yeah.
Yes.
I love Powell and Pressburger.
Yeah.
And then we would have to, and this is just what we would have to do. We would have to dunk that kid into the nearest toilet. I mean, like
No,
that.
no,
What
no,
a
no,
nerd
no.
at
You
No,
that.
don't
he'd
do
be
that.
on
You
the
don't do
show
that. You
immediately. You
ship him.
absolutely do not do. I can't even fathom
You
that you're
ship him
thinking
to
this
London.
thought.
He goes straight to London.
He
He
goes
gets his
straight.
own show. He
He
goes
gets
straight
his
to
own
Marty
show. Oh my God. Are you
In
kidding me?
London. He's
No,
our
with
London
Marty.
correspondent.
Exactly.
it's actually Jacoby Jupe,
He covers the
Jacoby
Oh,
Jupe.
Baptist.
Jacoby Jupe has watched a lot of Powell
I
Pressburger.
bet you he has. I bet that kid seems really cultured. Jay, what do you think of the Hamden kid? Jacoby Jupe. Sorry, not Jacoby Jupe. Jacoby
Jacoby.
Jupe.
Um,
Seems like a good
yeah, he
kid.
was in like a perfectly fine film,
And now he's in The Exorcist,
Yeah, he's going to be the kid
which is
possessed in the new
from
Exorcist. Mike Flanagan
the
yeah,
TV series.
Flanagan.
with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh wait, it's a TV show.
No, it's a movie.
Isn't it?
No,
Oh,
it's a
is
movie.
it? I thought it was.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a movie.
All right, good. I don't want to hear the origin of The Exorcist.
So
Well,
where do you have that?
I mean, he basically is getting carte blanche to do it after David Gordon Green made Jay's favorite movie of the decade.
My goodness, that thing was brutal. What was that called? Exorcist Believer? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
That one was tough.
It's not
David
it's
Gordon Green, one of the weirder careers of any director of the last like 40 years.
You need to do a director watch on him.
Man, we gotta.
There's no way you'll get me to do a director watch of that man.
We gotta.
Even
do
though
the
he
Your
does have some
Highness
interesting
episode.
stuff. You know,
Well,
what I mean?
honestly, that is the interesting thing about him is you do all of his early indie stuff and then his really broad Apatowian comedies, and then he becomes the Halloween sellout.
Yeah, I mean, well, then there's the Your Highness era as well in Pineapple
Right,
Express.
the
and
really broad
the
comedy.
really
area.
broad comedies. Where's he going to go now?
Oh, you're not
he's,
listening to me now. I finally get
see,
to say that you weren't listening to
I'm
me.
not listening to you. I do apologize. You know, for once in this
How
podcast
the tables
history,
have turned.
I didn't listen to you after the 150 plus episodes that we've done here where you don't listen to me. For one time, I didn't listen to you. Yeah, I mean, like, is he done? Was The Exorcist Believer his Peeping Tom? Like, is he going to be done for a while?
Nah, he'll be all right. Those Halloween movies made a ton of money.
Yeah, but they suck.
We're not worried.
Yeah, we're not worried about him. Jay,
Yeah, man.
before we get out of here,
Oh, and he does those HBO shows too with like Danny McBride.
we're going to test your award season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, The Tales of Hoffmann, in a segment we like to call It's an Honor to Get Nominated. Now, Jay, we've been up and down. and all around in this series, with Powell and Pressburger being nominated for Oscars. So I got to ask you, were they nominated for any Academy Awards for this film? And if so, what were they nominated for?
Right. I have no idea if they were. If they didn't get nominated for production design, the Oscars are completely illegitimate.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'm banning the Oscars. I'm protesting. I'm writing a letter to my congressman to abolish the Oscars.
If they weren't nominated for
Production design or whatever it was called back then.
production design or whatever it was called, they were nominated for best art direction, set
There you go.
direction,
All right.
color.
Thank goodness.
Thank God. Now you don't have to get mad at anybody for that.
I'm
Anything
guessing
else?
nothing above the line.
That's correct. Nothing above the line. Anything else?
Oh boy. It's cinematography.
I'm sorry, buddy. No.
All right. Huge oversight by them.
Jay, what's your favorite?
Ooh, how about those Stooms?
I was just going to say they were nominated for best
Oh,
Stooms.
give them those Stooms.
Color, baby.
Let's go.
That's when they broke up the Stooms from between black and white pictures and color. It was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Won the Silver Bear at the Berlin Film Festival.
The cinematographer for the Tales of Hoffman also shot Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Kind of makes sense, actually, when you watch
And
this movie.
Top Secret.
Helpman's got a big Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the sort of kidnapper quality to him.
Exactly.
You a fan of Top Secret? Y'all like Top Secret?
Which one's that one again?
The Zucker.
Is that the Val Kilmer?
Yeah,
Have you
Val
seen
Kilmer.
I haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Time ago.
That movie is so good.
Yeah.
He is the holy shit. I didn't know this. Helpman is the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There you go.
there you
All
go.
right. So he is.
Wow.
You learn something new.
There's so many Helpman things to think about.
He's got that face, doesn't
Yep.
He certainly has a
he? He's
face.
got the hide your kids. He's gonna take him and stick him in his.
He played the
in a
Mad
dungeon.
Hatter in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
He's just got a villainous
he's
face.
the MVP of this movie.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
he's just the stoic faces. He's terrifying throughout this whole thing. Jay, this was the year. This was the films of 1950. 1951. The Oscar
Films of
or
1950. I think it's the films of 1950.
yeah, films of 1951.
1952
The 1952 ceremony. You're right. You know when the ceremony happened? March 20th.
Oh, very.
Do you guys know when
very late.
the Oscar nominations were announced? Christina, this will make you mad. February 11th of 52.
So they had a month and a half.
We get these nominations in January, and we have to wait till March. They got them in February and had to wait till March. The movie that won Best Picture was An American in Paris.
Yeah,
Truly just fine film. Nothing.
a film, certainly.
A film. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, I would say. I'd be much more of a fan of this. Much more of a fan
I prefer this to An American in Paris.
Correct. Yes. Also, Jay, earlier you said you didn't like Fantasia?
I like Fantasia fine.
Okay. Christina, are you not a Fantasia person?
Oh, I like Fantasia.
Okay. I felt like, and Jay, you tell me if I'm wrong here. Fantasia felt like eating your vegetables when they would show you a movie.
It's a technical.
It's a marvel.
When you were in school and they put Fantasia on,
Okay,
you got that was with the boring. That was with the boring teacher. All right.
Like true artistic achievement, the one that I'm blown away by from an animation aesthetic perspective is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm blown away by.
Christina, do you have a classic Disney movie that you love, like one from the classic era?
It's funny because I also think Sleeping Beauty is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think that one's the most beautiful on the senses. It's
That
also
is an
just
artistic
Maleficent's a great villain.
achievement.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I mean, the story of it is so thin, but my
Yeah.
God, it looks incredible.
But you know what? How do you make up for it? Using
And
the
also,
art form.
Maleficent is such a impeccably designed
Yeah,
villain.
it's good stuff.
I
I
don't think
like it.
anybody could tell you. You go to Disney World and you see Maleficent walking around Main Street, USA,
It's probably more of the
and you ask,
Angelina
"What's your
Jolie.
favorite thing about Maleficent? What's your favorite personality trait of Maleficent?" And they're like, "Her horns, I guess." That's all I got. I don't know. But
Yeah, I
then we
mean,
learned all about her beginnings via Angelina Jolie. The
yes, we.
beginning of the sympathetic villain origin story.
God, we really were
This
in.
changed you, Jed.
I that was an era I think we can all forget from Disney. But you
We're
know
still
what?
there. Cruella 2 coming soon.
Well, didn't that? I mean, like that did really well. There wasn't that like
Made
Craig.
a lot of money. I told you I like that movie. It represents the end of cinema as we know it. I had a good time.
It's like Craig Gillespie, right? That did that with Emma
Oh yeah,
Stone, right?
baby.
Is she going to be doing that? Is she? She's going to be in the sequel, obviously, right?
I don't know if
Stone.
Gillespie is doing it or not. His career is not like
Well,
thriving.
if it's not Gillespie, she'll get fucking Yorgos Lanthimos to fucking do it. I'll tell you that. God, I am more over that pairing than anything Timothy Chalamet's got
Okay, I
going
did
on right
not
now.
know Gillespie did Supergirl.
Wait, he directed Supergirl?
Yeah.
That's coming out?
Hmm.
That movie just feels so
Oh,
anonymous. Just like nobody's talking about
I
it.
mean, yeah, it comes out in
2 months,
3
nobody gives a
months
shit.
as we're recording this. It
Nobody
feels
cares.
like they're almost hiding it.
Yeah.
I
But
like
I
seen
Superman,
one
man. I
teaser.
liked it a
but
lot.
my wife read the comic that it's based off and said it's fantastic. So I don't know.
So
We'll
it'll be
see.
good.
We'll be
Okay.
there. I'll be there with her to watch it. I'm going to read it, see if it's good. But it does feel like they're hiding that movie. Of course, it does feel like they're hiding Mandalorian and Grogu. But we made a bet on this podcast already about that.
It's going to
So
be a disaster.
it's going to be a hit. Christina, do you think Mandalorian and Grogu is going to make money?
Absolutely. I think the
Do you think it'll
families of
make
those.
over or under 500 million worldwide?
Okay. Under.
Shit. All
But
right.
I do think it'll make money.
Well, I think it's going to make over 500 because
How much did Solo make worldwide?
it's going to be better than Solo.
I think it's going to be
Solo's.
solo level.
I think that Solo was jam packed
more
when they
than
were
Solo
releasing
made
everything.
393 million worldwide.
Ooh, that's close.
Mm.
But did Solo have Baby
Solo
Yoda
didn't
in it?
have Grogu. No, I don't think.
Yeah, that little guy.
It's a TV,
Kids,
it's a TV movie.
it
That's
doesn't
the
matter.
problem.
My
Kids are
kid
gonna go
has
and see it.
3 dolls already.
They're all gonna go see it,
Last
buddy.
time.
No,
Once your kid figures out Star Wars, it's game over for you.
they're
You're
not
not gonna.
going to because it's a TV thing. It's a TV thing. They're used to watching it on their little small screens at
Do you
home.
know who's
Parents
also?
are
Hey,
desperate to bring kids to the
do you
event.
know who's also at fucking Disney World all around, all over the place with Maleficent there, buddy? Is Baby Yoda. People love
That's
Baby
actually
Yoda.
not true
Yeah, he's around there.
because Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is canonically not Grogu.
Well,
They're
bet you-
very committed to the canon until now. I think they're about to change it, but canonically, it's like Darth Vader isn't there, Luke Skywalker isn't there. It's Rey, it's
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, Finn,
No,
all that crew.
that Boyega loves that. You know,
Boyega, he's doing great.
Boyega. I'm gonna just tell you this, and I'm gonna put my cards out on the table. Boyega's kind of being a dick about all this
Wow. Okay.
because he's the one wanting to go after Ryan Johnson, and Ryan Johnson's not said it, and his hate is a lot stemmed at episode 8.
Man, his last movie was they cloned
And
Tyrone.
he must be doing great because Ryan Johnson, he's doing great, and everybody wants to work with him, and everybody wants to be in his movies. And last time I saw John Boyega was in a recent interview, and he was still trying to shit talk that movie. And it's like, you know what, buddy? Then they gave you an arc in episode 9, and that movie sucked. So I don't know what to tell you.
I liked they cloned Tyrone.
Was that good? Oh, with well, that he wasn't the big deal about that, wasn't it? Jamie Foxx the reason to watch that movie?
Jamie Foxx is really good in it, but
Yeah.
Boyega's the lead.
Yeah, but the reason you watch it was like everybody kept saying Jamie Foxx was
I just thought the
dynamite.
movie was good.
Who's the female actress in that film?
Teyana Paris.
Okay, was she was good too. I haven't seen that film. It's on
It's a good
Netflix.
movie.
All right.
I liked it.
Anyway, don't.
Anyway, should we talk about our rankings?
Oh, we do have rankings. That's right. We have to rank. We ranked because listeners, we are going to do the Peeping Tom episode. That is next week. So, but that's
It's
not
a
a Powell and
little
Pressburger movie.
bonus episode.
That is a that is a Powell
Powell
movie.
Cool.
joint.
That's a Powell joint.
Solo
So,
Powell.
with this being the last time we're talking about Powell and Pressburger together, we're going to do our Powell and Pressburger rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jay, give us your ranking from worst to best. And did you include films that you hadn't seen already or that we didn't talk about in your list?
I have some films that we did not talk about. For the first time, I have let down our audience.
Oh my
I did
God.
not watch every film.
I think you've done that before.
No, I definitely have.
Yeah.
The Powell, the Archers films that I have not seen are The Small Back Room, Gone to Earth. Or no, sorry, I have seen the Gone to Earth re-edit, The Wild Heart, which is kind of the definitive version of that movie. But I haven't seen The Small Back Room, The Elusive Pimpernel, Oh Rosalinda, The Battle of the River Plate, or Ill by Moonlight, or They're a Weird Bob. There's a few in there.
There's a
The
few.
stuff that nobody's seen. I haven't seen either.
All right, buddy.
I have seen 13 films though, so I'll start at 13. Blackout, 1940. One of Our Aircraft is Missing is sort of like a 49th parallel retread that isn't nearly as good. A Canterbury Tale at 11, a film that a lot of people love that I simply do not. The Spy in Black, that was their first film, 1939, a really good thriller. Surprisingly, I have Peeping Tom, which we threw in there as the only Powell solo joint. I have that at 9. I have Tales of Hoffmann at 8. I have Gone to Earth, a really good film, at 7. 49th Parallel, a fantastic film, at 6. I Know Where I'm Going at 5. The Red Shoes hot take at 4. My 3 and 2 are like so close, but I'm going to go Life and Death of Colonel Blimp at 3. Black Narcissus at 2, and A Matter of Life and Death, definitively my favorite Powell and Pressburger film.
I love that for you. I watched Gone to Earth.
It's a great movie.
It's a really good movie. It really is. I have 10 films. I did not catch up with as much as I wish I could have as well, but I will be on some of the films that Jay more likely recommends than the other ones for sure. In my 10 spot, I have A Canterbury Tale. I remember not liking that, and then I rewatched it, and I remember not really caring for it as
Still
much
not
as I
liking
did.
it that much.
Still not. Didn't move up from where it was, which is the bottom.
I love the lead up on that. I remember watching that. No.
It was so memorable. I had to watch it again and go, yeah, it's still the same. Peeping Tom at number 9 because we squeaked it in there just because we're going to be talking about it next week. Gone to Earth. Like Jay said, good movie. By the way, from Gone to Earth here up, everything's 4 stars, so or better. So again, good movies. I Know Where I'm Going. We talked about that. That's my 1, 2, 3. That's my number 7.
7. Yeah.
My number 6 is The 49th Parallel. My number 5 is the film we talked about today, Tales of Hoffmann. My number 4. My top 4 didn't change from the last time we talked.
All right, let me guess.
Okay. Number 4?
Blimp.
No.
Narcissus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3?
Narcissus, Blimp, Life and Death, Red Shoes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Shoes is mine, but Jay's love for A Matter of Life and Death, and then we both love that Blimp.
I've got 4. I think they've made 4 stone cold absolute masterpieces.
Yeah, I think that they made four masterpieces and then like four
and
other
then a
films where I'm
handful of
like,
other
these
like
are
almost
solid to
masterpieces.
great or fascinating
They're
films like the one we're
absolutely
talking about.
fantastic movies. Yeah. They've
Absolutely.
made 10 movies probably that I love.
Yeah. And I love that we got to talk about them as a whole. And we
They're
got to,
some of my favorites.
these are my guys through and through. We got to do the Red Shoes. We got to do Tales of Hoffman. We got to do these episodes.
With some great guests,
We had some great guests.
including
Nick,
Christina.
Christina, who is a wonderful
Thank you.
guest, who challenged us this week to make us think just like Powell and Pressburger
She
would.
kept us on track
Yeah, she didn't
sometimes.
want any more of our fucking shenanigans. She was like, enough of that. And
Some
that's why,
shenanigans, but
but,
you
but
know,
enough is enough, right?
when we
Also,
started getting into bad romantic comedy type things,
Judd Apatow
like this,
territory.
yeah,
yeah. What are your thoughts on Judd
that
Apatow, Christina?
No, we're
I'm
done.
I'm
Enough.
done.
Christina, can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet? And can you give our listeners a recommendation of the week? It could be a film, television show, book, anything that you're vibing with right now that you want our listeners to catch up with.
You can find me on popcultureconfidential.com, where you can find my interviews and lots of conversations with Ryan. I think we'll be talking next week as well.
Yes.
Uh, and on Instagram, Twitter at Christina Birro, so you can reach out to me there. That would be fun. And recommendation of the week. Actually, I'm just starting to read It Happened at Night, the
It's pretty
new
great.
Scorsese. I just got it,
I'm
so
like 40
that's
pages in and I'm like, I know where this is probably going to go. And it's pretty devastating. Like
and
it's
the
really
latest
great.
film I saw was I Swear, which should be coming to the States pretty soon. It's the Robert Iameo film about the true story of the Tourette's. I think we've all heard of that.
Hmm.
Um, great acting. The film was fine. I'd say the acting was better than the film for me. And I'm watching The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow, which I think is so fun and can highly recommend. That and Hacks.
Yeah. Jay,
Nice.
same drill.
Letterbox J Ledbetter, Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter, anything I'm writing over at the great website awardswatch.com. My recommendation for the week will be a film that I watched as preparation for a an episode of the Awards Watch podcast main show, the 1976 Oscars retrospective. I watched Seven Beauties, which I think is phenomenal. I thought it was so good. It's such like a transgressive movie about how men are more afraid of women than Nazis. It's so satirical, so potent, so well designed, so well acted, so well directed. I was laughing, I was cringing. I thought it was a really fantastic movie. So check out Seven Beauties.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterbox at Ryan McQuade 77. You can find all my work here at awardswatch.com. If you like podcasts, we have the Awards Watch podcast that is released in on Mondays. iTunes, Spotify, 5-star reviews. Greatly appreciated. Sign up on the website for the newsletter. It's the best place to get all the news, reviews, podcasts sent to you all in one place. Um, recommendation of the week. Man, this is really tough. Been watching a lot of TV lately, like Christina, like the final season of Hacks. They sent screeners. I can't really say anything about it other than if you like Hacks, more's coming. Um, I've watched the second season of Daredevil in full. Marvel doing some cool stuff. That's maybe the only good Marvel thing that they've got going for themselves. Um, still not interested
I
really
heard
in.
Wonder Man is good.
I've heard that is
Wonder
good.
Man is great.
I've heard
Is
it's
it?
I
good.
loved it. Yes,
Yeah,
All
you
right.
have
is
I
to
it
see
good,
might
that.
need to
Christina?
check that out.
All right.
Yes,
Are they kind of like? Did they kind of figure out the TV thing then?
it did. And I mean, I don't want to spoil it because it's a very, um, it's there's very little superhero stuff in it.
Sounds good.
It's about the industry. It's about acting.
Mm.
There's a very particular movie that it references all through, and that I think you guys are going to love.
Oh,
And Ben Kingsley, amazing.
he's crushing
They
it,
bring him back.
and that's who's the lead of it? It's Mateen,
Yeah,
right?
Abdul Mateen.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
Mateen, and yeah,
He's I
Ariel
love him. I
Boyed's
think
in
he's
it.
great.
I'm a big fan of him.
Big fan of him.
Several cameos that are really good. It's
Okay.
so good. It's really good.
Well, between that
Marvel's
and
the
this
studio.
and this Daredevil stuff, like they're kicking butt, I guess.
Do
But
people like Daredevil?
yeah, oh yeah, people really like that.
That I
You
haven't
couldn't.
Yeah.
seen.
You couldn't pay me to watch that.
It's really good. Like D'Onofrio as Kingpin is actually fantastic on that show. Charlie Cox is
Well, I
very
remember.
good.
I remember. I watched the Netflix one, and he was great in that.
This season is a vast improvement
Is
over the
it?
last one. It is. It is.
So this is the second Disney Plus season,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 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 And it does kind of, I think, play a lot of with a lot of. And Christina, why I'd be interested in you watching it is it does play a lot of with a lot of the themes of a police state and authoritarianism within local government and the idea of him having to be Daredevil having to be in the underground because because Fisk is the mayor of New York now and running it, and so it has the vibes of everything going on in Minneapolis and what's going on in our country, and so it feels very topical, and it's also the action is very, it's like it's very relentless, and it's not PG-13. It's like a sort of R-rated show, much like the Netflix series was. So it doesn't pull its punches
All right.
from what it does. But
I'm
I was
interested.
genuinely impressed with it. I thought it was like very well done. And so there's that. If there is a movie I would recommend. I think the second Ready or Not film was actually a lot of fun. And I
Here I
saw it at
come.
South by, and I was like kind of okay with the first film. This, I think those guys that are like the Radio Silence guys, the Opland and Gillette guy that they did
And the
the
screams.
they did the Screams, and
Until the most recent one.
they did that Abigail movie last year too, that a lot of people really like. They know how to make just entertaining films. Like
I
they're not.
hate that that's what they call themselves. I
Well, they're
hate
not.
it.
I don't think that's their production company. I think that's what people call them. They don't call themselves Radio Sounds.
They did for a
But
while.
maybe they did. I don't know. There's like four of them that created it. But anyway,
It's still better than the Daniels. Oh my
that's.
God.
Are you not excited for the Daniels new
I just
film? When
hate that they called themselves that. Do they still call themselves that?
Oh, they still call themselves the Daniels. Yes, yes, yes.
Ugh.
Daniel Kwan was actually at. I saw him at the Spielberg talk at South by, and I was just like, "Well, of course you're here." Because like
They
those guys
seem
have
totally
regular residents
fine
at that
guys.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those guys. Well, it feels like when like a guy got really,
I still think Everything Everywhere All at Once is like a good movie.
but like they keep going back every year to South by, and it does feel a little bit like, man, high school was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I keep going back to all the other high school graduations for the next 4 years.
Well, speaking
It's-
of Disney Plus, that's all they've been doing. Is
Yeah,
like,
they did like Star Wars shows and
Star
a
Wars
couple
shows. They might have
Marvel,
done some
Marvel
Marvel
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, but anyway, Ready or Not 2, an actual fun movie. Totally J1 you can watch when it's like on a streamer.
Big fan of the first one. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I saw that movie and I was like, Samara Weaving, absolute star.
Yeah,
Really work
and
out.
she's in another film with Jason Segel that I saw at South by over your and
Oh, yeah.
from
Yeah,
Norma
yeah, yeah.
Tacone and directed it, and it's a fine film. This one is a lot more fun. That film's, but she's great in both, and she's really fun with Segel. I think that movie, Over Your Dead Body, IFC has it. Like, don't know what's going to happen with
Oh,
that.
so that's
movie.
going to go. That's going to make
Yeah, it's going
$250 million.
nowhere. Yeah, it'll make $1 billion. So,
Can I
next
just
week,
say that the Patrick Marber book that the Scorsese film is called What Happens at Night, not It Happens at Night.
yeah, what happens at it happens at night feels like that Trey Edward Schultz movie that
Yeah,
came out.
something
Yeah. We will be back next week to wrap up all of this with an episode on Peeping Tom, a super chill movie that nobody had an issue with at the time and is not creepy,
Claimed in
controversial at all.
1960, beloved now.
Yeah, one that the whole family watched back then.
The
So
Star Wars of its time.
exactly. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.